Happening now on The Alternative Digital. Happening now on The Alternative Digital.
I have a very good friend there. Had I known you knew how I would have said before you come bring me some present from her. Justice Akufo.
Yes.
You know her?
Very well.
I think she finished her term at the African Court.
Yes.
Or is she still there?
She finished.
She finished. Yes. And they went back to the Supreme Court?
Yes.
Right.
She became the Chief Justice.
Oh, she became the Chief Justice?
Yes.
When was that?
She just retired. She's the immediate past Chief Justice.
Is really?
Yes.
No, we were good friends at the African Court on Human Rights. We were the pioneer judges of the court. And the elections of 2016, she came here. She came and visited me here. She was heading the AU team of observers. And I was very delighted to see her. We had a photograph with her when she came here to my residence here. And they suggested me to be the president of the court because the time was for the Anglophone president to be there, and we had a campaign for Lingoyoke from Burundi, who was our first president. And then 2006, I was on the panel of judges of the Supreme Court, and the three of us who dissented from four said that the election should be repeated. It was not free or fair. And you know African politics, they withdrew me from the court. The treaty of the convention is very clear. If you come from a member state and there is a case from your country, or in which your country, you should not participate. Okay. But they didn't know that. So they decided to punish me. I was going to become the president of the court. So they sacked me. And one of my colleagues who was a member of the majority replaced me. Although he was not a lawyer known for his human rights activities, whatever. And he was there until he passed away. So, a fanatic supporter of the late president, the first president of Ghana. We were very young students in those days. And when we came on site, his speeches were always inspiring. Very, very, very. He was like our mentor everywhere. Until again he was overthrown. From what I hear, like Museveni, he came as a hero, and by the time he left, many Ghanaians were not very happy with what he was doing. I don't know what happens to our leaders. When they are in the office, they change color. When I was judge of Supreme Court, having been a minister of justice, I went to UK, and the BBC asked me a question because I had written in the media that Museveni had changed beyond recognition. So the BBC asked. They interviewed me for about 20 minutes or more, but they only published one sentence I said on the media, and that was, they said, are you saying that the Museveni of 1986, when you served as Minister of Commerce and the late as Minister of Justice Attorney General, has changed? I said, yes, it has changed beyond recognition. So he said, but when in 1986 you worked for him, you were in exile in the UK, you worked for him, you saw leaders there. So what happened? What do you think? They asked that question. The Museveni of 1986 would do if we met the Museveni of today. Then I said, they would shoot each other on sight. And that's the only answer they reported on the media, I other BBC. All my other answers on other questions, they ignored except that one. And I am still of the same view. Museveni changed beyond recognition. He's a friend of mine. I campaigned for him when he was in the country. And the European leaders used to laugh at me. He said, you Kanyeihamba, are you a joker? Museveni is an upstart agitator. He's only supported by Cuba and North Korea. He's a very dangerous communist. You want him to take over your country? I had difficulty. I met many European leaders, including the then Callahan, who was Prime Minister of Britain. I met the opposition, the leader of the opposition, Margaret Thatcher, who later on became Prime Minister, and they were of the same view. But I was wasting my time.
You're going to upload this. Maybe you could tell your followers and viewers that you are waiting for them tomorrow.
Waiting for what?
For your viewers who are coming to the launch, because they're going to upload this.
Yes.
To tell the public, that you
are recording?
Yes, it's on record.
No, I didn't know.
It's on record. Your discussion was on record.
I thought they were just doing it for.
No, it's on record. We're going to put it there.
So what do you want me to do?
That you are looking forward to meeting them tomorrow at Imperial Royale in your book launch. One of the panelists
actually
arrived.
From what you have told me,
Yes,
I feel very humbled that my opinions should attract so many people. From our distinguished guest from West Africa, the speaker who is giving us a keynote address is from East
Africa.
So I'm joining East and West. So one of my admirers who called me is a former Justice of the African Court on Human People's Rights from Libya. He's no longer a judge. And he was saying, make sure that the people who are speaking on the launch of your book, who I know one or two very eminent persons, warn Ugandans that not to allow Uganda to go the way Libya went. Because you start with bad leadership, and then you end up being in chaos. So that's the message from the Libyan friend of ours. We are all looking forward to tomorrow. I am very happy that we were able to advertise the occasion from the media, and some media people have already called me that they saw the advert, and one or two of them have said they are dropping everything, they want to come. I hope we shall be able to admit them. I am sure that normally we accommodate them within our rules. I thank you very much. We have very distinguished speakers. One of them has already arrived from Ghana. He is sitting with me here, and he will be introduced properly tomorrow. But he's a distinguished university activist, and not only here, but well known in West Africa. I am so humbled that somebody would take a plane all the way from Accra to come and attend tomorrow's event. Then our guest speaker is none other than our East African jurist by the name of Kanyeihamba. Again, very well-known speaker and jurist in Africa. They will be joined on the panel of discussion by our former Prime Minister, Kanyeihamba. I saw in the popular media that he is slated to be the vice president. I don't know. But that is part of the politics, I think, that we shall discuss. Tomorrow, our guests will discuss. He will be joined, you know that Digital Talk TV show is co-hosting tomorrow's function event, and they are non-discriminatory, just as those who know me, I am not. So the panel is a mixture panel of internationalists and Ugandans of different persuasions and political opinions. Kanyeihamba will be joined on the panel by none other than Norbert Mao, the president of the Uganda political party known as Democratic Party. He will be also joined by, I don't know him very well, another eminent member of the party, NUP. I think
Dr. Lina Zedriga.
What is his name?
Her name, Dr. Lina Zedriga.
Dr. Lina.
Zedriga.
Yeah. Is she a member of parliament?
No, she's the deputy principal of NUP.
Oh, she's the deputy principal of the party. And you know, for me, I was very much attracted by that party. I'm not a member, but I was attracted by their program because their main theme is that they are fighting for the people's power, people, ordinary people, which is very, very attractive slogan. Then they will be joined by Dr. Milia Matembe on the panel, and then politician seasoned
happening now on The Alternative Digital.
Ofomu Upondo, with the director of the media center and a very staunch movement person. I don't know that I have forgotten one. Then our renowned human rights activist and a lawyer, Nicholas Opio. He was on my team. I was senior lecturer, rather senior counsel. After I retired and started practicing again, when we opposed successfully the reappointment of Justice Odochi, who had reached retiring age, that the president wanted him to have another term, which was unconstitutional, and they paneled me as senior counsel for that case, and hope it will be mentioned again tomorrow. I want also to say that my remarks, if they give me opportunity tomorrow, will be very brief. Having referred to my publications, I will say, please, I encourage reading culture. So let many of those who will listen to our team tomorrow to acquire a copy of one of my books. One of them, very relevant, constitutional law, public law, and the government is those which has brought all of you who are going to come tomorrow for launching. As you can see, what I want to emphasize tomorrow, I have only about 10 minutes tomorrow, but presumably I'll speak for less, is that we Africans, and that includes we Ugandans, we have diverted from believing and advancing principles of governance in preference to supporting personalities. Personalities come and go. They govern us well or badly. Principles remain forever. And so the whole thrust of today's understanding is that unless we embrace principles which are enshrined in our Uganda Constitution, and let me say, I am very happy that we have a distinguished guest from the Republic of Ghana, because the chairman of our technical team, which made the Uganda Constitution, was a Ghanaian, and it's Chesi, the late, he died unfortunately, and he guided us. He guided us to look at the South African Constitution, to look at the Ghanaian constitution, and many of the principles we enshrined in the Uganda constitution came from these countries. But the Odochi committee, which gathered the views of all Ugandans, traveled far and wide, including getting good principles from the constitutions of the United Kingdom, of Britain and India, and they all were embedded in our 1995 constitution. Parliament was not a party to making the 1995 constitution. At that time, the army, UPDF, led by none other than the presidential candidate, recently, insisted that the constitution should be made by the people. Can you believe it? Ironically, it was the army. And they convinced us when we were in the legislature that they will not accept a constitution either made by the president, or made by parliament, or even made by the military council, or a combination of the three. And Muntu articulated the views of the army, which came to be accepted by the whole country, that we must divide the country into smaller constituencies, which we call constituents, so that as many people in Uganda as possible would be represented in the body that they elected, not nominated, elected to represent them in the making of the 1995 constitution. And that is exactly what happened. Then, when it came to promulgate it, we invited members of parliament and the President Museveni to come and witness the new constitution. They didn't, of course we consulted them all before. All political parties were represented. The traditional rulers were represented. Religious organizations were represented in the CA. Therefore, the Constitution of 1995 was a people's constitution made by the people themselves. So President Museveni, I hope he will listen to this program, he stood up as our chief guest and he said, this is the best constitution Ugandans have ever made. It was made by the people of Uganda. And I will go to the bush once more if anyone interferes with it. He campaigned in the referendum that followed to allow multipartyism in Uganda. He was one of the supporters of ushering in new democracy and with political parties dispensation. Little do we know that the party he created to participate in that democracy would make him authoritarian, and that organization anti-democratic, hated by the majority of Ugandans, and today it has become a nightmare for all Ugandans. So he himself, president, broke his word only recently, President Museveni, who has helped me to live longer. Many people, including the Prime Minister today, they know that we are friends. But I dislike intensely the way he and his colleagues in the NRM party have misgoverned and misled Uganda. God has made me live longer to have my opinion heard, not only by the Ugandans who are listening to me now, but others and our.
Happening now on The Alternative Digital. Happening now on The Alternative Digital.
The reason I'm speaking at the length rather is because tomorrow it is not my day. The day of women, it is the day that we shall hear from Professor Lumumba, Ofono Pondo, and the others. So for me, if you want to know more about me, please buy this book. It was reviewed by the judge of the Constitutional Court, Justice Ngonda Ntende, who is currently the chairman of the Uganda Law Council, and he recommends it that it is not for lawyers or judges alone, it is for the general public. This is the way it is designed. So I hope those who will not come and buy a copy tomorrow, who haven't got it yet, it is already in the major bookshops. In Aristotle, in the Uganda bookshop and the Mukono bookshop, so you can get a copy. These younger people incorporated the right to sit freely in tomorrow's launching. So that is why those who will buy the books who are about to go to there is 200,000 shillings. It includes the right to sit there. You get a notification of it when you arrive or before. But those who don't want to attend or who are unable to attend, you can get a free copy, and they cost 100,000 shillings in those bookshops. Okay, I wish you good luck. Please pray for tomorrow's proceedings. I think when my visitor came here, judges are supposed to have policemen guarding them. You didn't see a policeman there. I am guarded by ordinary people, my friends. They are much more real than the police. So tomorrow, in order to avoid any incident happening, I have contacted the chief of the Kampala Metropolitan Police to give us 1 or 2 He has not responded, but I hope they will come. And if you see them there, don't think that this is a government function, you know. It will be because I have invited them, and they will act in accordance with my wishes, and they will not be part of the police brutal force. Thank you.
Happening now on The Alternative Digital.